Make sure I have all the pages of notes for this movie.
How many pages you got? I got 1.25 pages of notes for this.
Almost 4.5.
4.5?
Lot didn't happen in this movie.
Hey, watch him with Dan and Tony. Hey, watch him with Dan and Tony. It's like watching, yeah.
Welcome to Hey Watching with Dan and Tony. I'm Dan.
I'm Tony.
On this show, we talk about movies because we're we're gonna say funny things about movies.
No, you can't. You can't preface it with that because then nothing that follows is going to be funny.
I always remember there was what was it? It was an improv one time, and somebody did a whole thing, where they were like talking about how they're going to play this great character or something, and the teacher was just like. You can't preface it with how good it's going to be because then when you suck, everyone's going to
But even if you don't suck, you're not going to live up to whatever you just set up. It's just not going to happen because now as the audience, we're like, okay, bring it on.
Come on.
Bring it on, bitch.
Let's see this. You think you're so great.
Yeah, let's see this happen. And then it's never as good as you want it to be.
We talk about movies this week. I picked the movie. I picked The In Crowd from 2000, hour and 45 minutes. Mary Lambert, who was kind of an up-and-coming director who did Pet Sematary 2, which were well regarded. This, I have to assume, was the beginning of her slide.
Well, but then later she gets to do, which one did she do?
Did she do something else good?
Well, good isn't the right word. But didn't she do like one of those giant shark movies eventually?
Giant shark movies. She did one of the giant shark movies.
I think she did. I'm gonna find it out. But I think she did like Gatoroid or whatever the hell that was. Remember that?
There needs to be a movie called Gatoroid, and I don't think that there's like this. It's a gator that lives outside of a Gold's Gym.
He's all roided up. Gatoroid. Oh, God.
You could sell that. You could sell Gatoroid.
We might sell it just based on the podcast, to be honest with you. You talk about $1 million ideas. That's the one right there.
I've been having the $1 million ideas every day.
No, you've been crushing. Okay, yeah. See, here it is. Megapython versus Gatoroid. Yeah.
It is Gatoroid. There it is.
It is Gatoroid.
We're too late.
I know why I know this movie. Shout out to my buddy Kevin Horton, who is the police officer in this movie. I have seen this movie now it's all coming back to me now. I've seen this movie and it's great.
Is it a roided up gator because of roids?
It is I don't think it's because of roids. I don't totally remember the movie. It's not, it's one of those real ridiculous movies, but sure. It was fun.
Wow. So that she will do anything for a paycheck at this point, seemingly.
She's crushing it, I think is the answer.
Okay, so this movie, I don't know. I just found it on a list of terrible movies. It's barely a Beverly Hills 90210 episode. Just barely.
I mean, this had to have come after like Cruel Intentions. I didn't check the time. I think Cruel Intentions was like late 90s, right? And Cruel Intentions, I think, was kind of the first of these like, I don't know. Teen sex thriller movies. THRILLROTICA, if you will. You like that one?
You mean THRILLROTICA?
What did I say? THRILLROTICA. I didn't do the erotica. Yeah. So it's got to be thrill-rotica. I see where you're at.
Were there any thrills? Was there any erotica? There was
a little bit of erotica that she got naked.
She got topless twice.
Sure. Yeah, that counts. Trust me. That's a preview. That counts. That counts. This is 2000. I am 15 years old right now in my time.
Greatest movie ever.
And there's like a really, really tiny part where she seduces the other girl on the boat. So like there's very slight erotic thriller points to this, but it never excites. You know what I mean? Which is a problem because Cruel Intentions, very sexy movie. I
remember one of the girls in this was in Wild Things 2, and I mean,
Wild Things is another one. Yeah,
Wild Things, pretty racy movie, pretty Denise
Richards. Nev Campbell.
Very attractive,
Mm-hmm.
And this movie just, the lighting is flat, the people are flat, the dialogue is flat.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Some of the acting very poor. Some of it's really bad. The brunette, Brittany, she's pretty great. She's good. She's solid.
If she had something more to do, and she started doing it earlier, and there was an amount of you not knowing exactly what was happening in the movie, then maybe it had a movie.
It's interesting that you bring that up, because I did find something that the original press releases for the movie, one of their whole things was like, don't spoil the ending. Like, don't tell people about the ending. And it's like, what? There's no twist.
There's no twist.
What would I be telling people? Just be like, yeah, I mean, it pretty much goes exactly how you think it's going to go. If you see the movie, you're going to know how it ends about 8 minutes into the movie. I don't know. I'm not really sure what they thought we were going to spoil, but they did it all on their own, I think.
Yeah, there are about 3 things I liked in this movie, and one of them comes very quickly, and one of the other ones is very at the end, so...
Okay, well, I'm going to write this down. 3 things, because I would like us to hit all 3. I feel like a lot of times, and we have not gotten any comments about this, but I feel like a lot of times we say, hey, there's these things I like, and we never hit them. We always hit them. We hit some of them. I don't feel like we hit all of them. I'm going to count 3. So you got to tell me all 3 things that you like.
Well, I know 2 of them, and there might be a third one.
We're already backtracking.
I'm going at 2.5. 2.5.
All right, 2.5. I'll accept the 2.5.
And the 0.5 might just be, Kelly's hair. I like Kelly's hair.
Sure. Well,
in one shot. There's one shot.
Just in one shot.
In one scene, I enjoyed her hair. The rest of the time, her hair was all right. So that's a 0.5.
0.5 it is. All right. Well, all right. So now we're down to 2. We got 2 more things we got to talk about.
And I will swear to God, I'll get you those 2. But
swear to me.
In The Lost Lands, I told you my one thing was when he was looking for a replacement snake.
Listen, it's a lot easier when there's only one thing. Okay, that's pretty easy to hit. Let's increase the bar for barrier here. Jesus.
Now, and this movie is made up of all these sort of teen people that had been in like the
Are they sort of teens? I think the main lady was like 28, 27 years old.
Teen movie people or whatever you want to call them. Because
I gotcha.
The Final Destination kind of movies and all. Because you look back on...
those are great.
I looked at like 5 or 6 of the main people and like, what have they done since and before? And they all sort of had... This movie's in 2000. They all sort of had 98, 99 movies that you could tell did some box office.
Okay,
like Final Destination, and it might have been that if Final Destination came out in 99 or 98, one of them was in it. One of them was in it for sure. And then they've all gone on to continue to do movies like this for a number of years after this, and maybe up until now. I didn't really look that deep, but these everybody was kind of working actors.
I want to shout out one actor in this movie. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find it. I have it pinned here. Here we go. Charlie Finn. This guy's great. So he's one of the friends. He never really gets featured that much, but he's one of the clique.
Was he the wavy hair guy, or was
he the long flowy hair?
There was long flowy hair, and then there was one other random, fairly good-looking guy whose name I never clocked.
I'm assuming it's that one.
Okay, I never clocked.
But anyhow,
he dated the blonde whose name was Sheila, who they set her up as like the first name dropped, and she literally has nothing in the movie. She disappears. Has nothing in the movie. It was amazing how nothing she had in the movie.
That is the guy. All right. So that actor's name, Charlie Finn. This guy's great. The minute I saw him, I was like, oh my God, Super Troopers. He is the burger joint worker in Super Troopers that's like, don't spit on that cop's burger. That's it. He will live rent-free in my mind for the rest of my life. And I was so excited to see him in this movie. I don't know what he's doing since. I hope he's working, but he's great. He's a real treasure.
Yeah, well, he has nothing to do in this movie.
He has nothing to do in this movie. Super Troopers came out a year later. So maybe this was like his, hey, I'm in a movie. You should put me in your movie,
Wait, who was the one guy that got out of the... Jack Simmers, the Duke guy. Whatever happened to that guy in this movie? Because there's the guys in this movie.
That's right.
There's Tom back from rehab,
right?
Who kind of floats in, kind of does stuff, and then disappears back to rehab.
He's the tennis pro, right?
No. That's Matt. Matt is
the tennis pro. Okay,
who's one of the
love interest.
Who's one of the workers, but also sort of crosses over. And then at one point, Jack Simmers. Maybe that's his last name, or maybe he was simmering. Gets out of the ocean.
It was a descriptor.
But then Jack never reappears. He kind of maybe does a little something.
Yeah, no, you're right, because he comes out of the ocean with his abs on display, and that's kind of it. Yeah,
and I don't know if he ever does anything again. So
I don't think he does.
There's so many people in this movie. It's very confusing initially. You're just writing down names and hoping it comes into focus.
And did it? I'm curious on someone who watched it more carefully than I did.
The women did, but the men did not. That
makes sense.
Jack and Tom, and then this other guy that they got very confusing to me. And then the long wavy hair. There's too many other random dudes. There's
a lot of random people in this movie that are there but not really there.
So we start the movie.
Wait, before we start the movie, I got to talk about one last thing. I know we're 15 minutes into this. I apologize, but I want to talk about the writers. Did you do any research on this? Right, there's a pair of writers that are credited with this movie.
I have one thing to say about the credits. After you do the writers, I will say what I have to say about the credits. I did no research.
So the writers, a gentleman named Mark Gibson and Philip Halprin. I have no idea if I'm saying this right. So this is their first movie together, and they went on to do 3 or 4 movies together. But real quickly, the movie that Philip wrote before this is a movie called Legally Exposed. Here's the quick synopsis. An archaeologist's lifelong search for a unique relic rewarded when he finds an object that has the power to turn anyone into a sex-starved maniac with the push of a button, which is a movie I need to see desperately. Okay, so this guy knows what he's doing. I think that when he wrote with Mark, he got watered down.
Yeah.
Because Legally Exposed sounds pretty great, but this movie sounds pretty bad. But then you'll never guess where they went after this. So they wrote, in 2000, they wrote The In Crowd.
Yep.
In 2002, their next movie was the Cuba Gooding Jr. banger Snow Dogs, a family movie. Yeah. They wrote a family movie, and then they wrote a Disney animated film called The Wild that was like zoo animals going to New York. So they really took a sharp right turn after this movie and went family friendly, and then petered out. They haven't written a movie since 2007, but just an interesting journey that they had together.
They haven't written a movie.
What did I say?
I said wrote in a movie.
Wrote.
Okay.
Well, grammatically, I'm all over the board.
Here are my 2 things from the
what are
credits.
your 2 things?
Music by Jeff Rona. I don't know why that.
And is that someone we know?
I thought that name was funny. So I had to write it down. Then right after that, edited by Pasquale Buba.
Oh, outsourced it.
We start off, we got the air conditioner. The air conditioner is dripping.
Oh, my God.
Dripping into this coffee can. Drip, drip, drip.
Why? Why?
It's called tension, Tony. There's a girl. She's blonde. This is our protagonist, Adrian.
That's an interesting word for her.
She's our protagonist.
She's the person we follow. I don't know.
She's in front of a board of members of this psychiatric hospital trying to see if she's going to get out. So we're not even talking yet, but everybody's looking at everybody. And on the right end, there's a doctor, and he's playing with a golf tee, and he accidentally flicks it. It flies across the room and hits her.
Yes. Yeah.
This movie has peaked.
Yeah.
Way too early.
So this is one of your favorite things?
Oh, absolutely.
I wrote down this was my favorite moment of the film, and the rest of it was all downhill from here.
I was like, here we go. We're going to have a roller coaster ride of insanity. And we never do this again. It's so disappointing.
I'm so confused how this is even in the movie because it makes no sense for anything. For that character who we never see play golf again, even though he's part of the country club, he's never golfing.
That is true.
So why is he playing with a golf tee? I don't know. It was great. This was a wonderful opening moment. And I was like, boy, I can't wait to see where we go from here. And we don't go anywhere.
Because I watched the first 2 minutes and got to that, and then I stopped the movie and like had to do stuff, and I was like, now I'm excited to get back to it.
Yeah, this is the perfect moment to pause because you're like, okay, this can be a good movie.
Yeah.
If you would have watched 30 more seconds, you would have never come back to the movie. You would have just stopped forever.
So it was kind of sad. Yeah.
All right, we got one left. So the other one's at the end of the movie?
Yeah, it's near the end of the movie.
All right, put a pin in it, everybody. We got some time to wait.
So it turns out that doctor is Henry. He's like, he has faith in her. He's going to get her out. He's going to take her to his country club. She's got a job there. All you got to do is no drinking, no sexually obsessing over anyone. And
you got to put that into context a little, I think.
Well, they kind of go through her folder. We find out that she was sexually obsessed with someone or something.
Yes. Yep.
We'll find that out later.
Will we? I'm actually still very confused about that. Yeah. I'm very confused about the whole situation. I'll tell you why when we get there, I guess, a little bit later. But it's weird that he drives her, right?
Well, you expected there to start being pervy stuff, right? There has to be some stuff that's going on.
This is why I'm. Can we just talk about it now? Can we spoil it a little bit and talk about it now? Because I'm very confused, Dan.
That he screws at Brittany later? Is that what you're saying?
No, with the blonde girl. They had sex, right?
No.
Come on. Yes, they did.
No, absolutely not.
So here's what I'm convinced that this is the truth. They had sex. No. He realized that she was emotionally unbalanced. He gaslights her into believing that it was all in her head, but he really fucked her. And that's what really happened. He faked that whole thing. He lied to her and was like, no, we never did anything. We never did anything. This was all in your head. And then she believed it.
It was a different doctor, wasn't it?
I thought it was him.
No, it was a different doctor.
It was a different doctor?
No,
this is all very confusing.
Yeah, if it was the same doctor, there's no way he would be on her parole board.
That's why I was confused the whole time. And then he drives her to the country club, and I was like, this is so inappropriate. I don't understand anything.
No. They set you up to be confused. I do not. It was a different doctor.
I am confused because then that doctor sleeps with the young lady Brittany later, and I was like, yeah, this guy's got a pattern. You know what I mean?
Well, that'd be a much more interesting movie if he was all like,
isn't he in the car? I swear in the flashback scene, it's that doctor in the car when she's smashing the windshield.
You can't see who the doctor is.
Man, I don't know.
Well, look it up.
Now you're gaslighting me, and I'm thinking I'm making all this up in my head. It's very easy to make people think they're crazy.
That was not the impression that I got. And there's just no way that they would, if he was directly involved with her, that...
I mean, I agree with all that. That's why I was so confused.
It was her therapist, right? And he's not a therapist. He's a doctor.
I mean, I guess, but he's a doctor in the psych ward.
But he's a doctor. He's not a therapist. Right. She had her thing with a therapist who she went in and talked to. So it's a different person.
I'm going to rewatch it while we're doing this right now.
And he's not her therapist because she's going to see, when she goes back to the hospital, she's seeing that other lady therapist.
Well, isn't he dead at that point? Spoiler alert.
Oops. I don't know. I do not know. I can see, but that's an interesting movie. That's not this movie.
Wow, sure. Here's what I will say about this movie. This movie is unnecessarily convoluted. For as simple as the story truly is, like they try to make it seem as if it's twisty and turvy, and it's just kind of not.
No, it's pretty straightforward. Before she leaves, there's Tanya, the redhead, who's crazy, who wants all of her pictures on the wall, but what's her name? The girl takes them, and then Adrian takes them and tears them up, and is like totally freaked out. And you're like, okay, here we go. She's hot and cold, right? She can play the game when she's in front of the people, but when she, her emotions take control elsewhere. She never loses it again the entire movie. This
is a one-time opportunity here.
And so there's this one postcard of an NC Wyeth painting, the one where it's what's her name in the field, like gesturing for the thing. she tears it up, but then she wants to keep it, so she keeps it, and she tapes it back together, and it becomes this really thin, terrible plot point throughout the movie.
Yeah. Is it a metaphor of some sort that I didn't understand, you think?
I'm unaffected by metaphors.
Just in general, just as a blanket. Okay, well, there you go.
There's
good to know.
There's plot, there's subtext, but metaphors, that's above my pay grade. Symbolism, I don't believe in symbolism.
So you don't like the Da Vinci Code then, huh?
There's no symbolism in Da Vinci Code.
Isn't that what the whole thing is? Well, that's like the study of symbols, I guess, which is different.
Symbology. That's what
symbology, symbolism. Listen, I don't know.
That's what Tom Hanks studies. He studies symbology.
Well, I like those books. I think those are fun. Robert Langdon books are pretty fun.
Yeah, the movies, well, they got very bad.
I think I saw Da Vinci Code, but I don't think I ever saw, what was it? Angels and Demons was the other one, I think.
There's one at the end where they're running around on these platforms, and if something gets dropped in the water, the whole world will die, or something. It's like a Tom Cruise movie.
That makes sense.
Get your Tom Cruise movie where he's going to face the AI. He's going to have to talk it down. Oh, you AI submarine, let me tell you what's what.
Submarine, I'm going to tell you. I'm very excited, by the way. Are you excited?
I'll watch it after it comes out on streaming. I don't have to pay for it, sure.
So not that excited, I guess, would be the answer.
I mean, whatchamacallit came out. Thunderbolts came out yesterday, and I haven't gone to see it. And that's like the one. If there's a movie I'm going to go see, it's going to be Thunderbolts. I might go see it.
I'm pretty excited. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. I want to see. Now we're just off. I want to see Sinners as well, really badly. But all right.
Got 10 squirts. The club manager is Bob Mead, who is always ready to be cruel, slightly cruel to Adrian for no reason.
For no reason at all.
We meet Joanne, the brunette. This is her third season there. She bought a truck last time. She's the good old girlfriend, female friend that's going to look at you disapproving as you hang out with the in crowd.
Right. Yeah. You're not one of them.
Yeah. And she's like, be invisible, make your money. Yeah.
Yeah. High-waisted shorts. That's what I noticed about her. I don't know. Very unflattering.
She's very attractive at the end. I was like, oh, she's very they kind of make her not attractive, but at the end when they're driving away.
When they're riding up, and her car, the truck that she bought, wow.
Nice truck.
Good for her. 10 out of 10. I would recommend. It's beautiful. It's like this aqua teal. I'm not good with colors.
Aqua teal.
But it's cool. It's cool, man. I want it.
I was into her when they were driving away. I was like, yep, now.
It's probably the truck. The truck elevates her hotness.
Could be. We meet.
That's why middle-aged men buy fancy cars.
To impress trucks?
Yes, to impress the trucks on the road. No, to impress women.
With trucks.
What are you talking about? With trucks and cars and stuff. Yeah, it's good.
We meet Sheila the blonde. She never has anything to say in relation to the plot again. And we meet Brittany, the brunette queen.
Very important to the plot.
Of the place. She runs the place. Pretty attractive. There's one scene where it's sort of dark at the end of the movie where you really see her eyes. She has the most beautiful blue eyes.
Oh, piercing.
Ever.
Yeah,
You're
for
just
sure.
Whoa. I never noticed them at any other point during the movie, just that one shot.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder if they were, there's probably a trick of the lighting where they're kind of highlighting it, specifically for that reason. But she is in the television show Make It or Break It. So
is that a new show, great. Old show?
Not even a little bit. I think it's 2007, 2006, 2007. It's about gymnastics. It's great.
Was she
great
good?
Show.
Was she good?
Yeah, I think she plays one of the moms, I think. It's been a long time since I saw it, but I loved that show. I thought it was great.
That is good. Good for her. And she, like I said, she's a good actress. She plays it.
No, she does the best that she can with what she's got, I think.
And when she's doing psychotic at the end, you're like, she's psychotic.
It works.
Let's go. Oh, spoilers. Adrian is never psychotic. Brittany is the psychotic in the movie.
That's why I was like, I just don't buy that she really had this psycho obsession. Because she never does anything unstably again. she's the most grounded person in the movie, other than the friend.
You needed to gaslight her, right? That's what needed to happen in the movie, is because we've set up that she can, when she talks about what she went through, she became obsessed with this guy and then fantasized a whole relationship with him.
Or in my world, really had a relationship. The doctor was like, that never happened. I'm going to pretend you're crazy. I'm going to lock you up so you don't tell my wife.
A movie that we've seen and can be done.
Probably, yeah.
But this movie, we don't do either of those things. And so
I don't know.
There is no confusion. You are never confused. And you have to be confused in a movie like this.
I would have liked, and maybe this is just me, right? Like, I would have liked to not know which one of the two women is actually doing the heinous acts, you know? I would like to part of me believe that Adrian is the one offing people.
Yes.
And then, or Brittany, and I'm like, I don't know which one of you is crazy. I don't know until the end when the twist happens. You know, that's what I was looking for.
And even better, they're both crazy.
Which is a given. You know what I mean?
They're women.
Whoa, look at this guy.
She puts up her NCY postcard. In comes Simple Wayne, who is the simple groundskeeper.
Why? Why is this? What is happening? Where?
Oh, okay. I'm up to 3 things I liked.
Wow.
I get to add another one.
Is it Simple Wayne?
No, but it's Simple Wayne adjacent.
Okay.
Oh, God. It's so good. And it's another thing that you could have, I mean, it's in the movie, and we'll talk about it when we get to it. But
sure. Yeah.
Okay. So the dudes are, we're on the beach. The dudes are playing a prank. They've got a bag. And what they do is they stick the bag up the umbrella, so that when you open the umbrella, the bag falls out and it's full of shit or something like that.
No, that's not what's in.
Sorry, something like
Dan, I thought that you were so confused that you didn't understand what happens 8 seconds later in the movie.
I understood what happens. So Adrian comes over there, opens the thing, the bag falls down, and here is a snake.
A snake, which is definitely poisonous, by the way. Just based on the colors, it's poisonous.
It is a red snake. And
yeah, that's bad.
It's not like a garter snake that just looks like a normal sort of snake where you still be cautious of. And she's just like, snake. She just picks it up and
she wraps it around her hand and is like talking with it. And I was like, what is happening? She is crazy. This lady is full on nuts.
And there you have a moment, right? You have a character who you're trying to say is crazy, and you're having her pick up a random snake that has fallen out of an umbrella.
She should know what does not belong there. Like that, there's no way that snake accidentally showed up. That's not the way it works.
She hasn't wrangled snakes earlier in the movie, making us think that this is a very snake-infested area.
There's so many snakes at this country club. No.
And what does she do with it? She walks it towards the ocean, I believe.
Yeah, she might drown it. She might just kill it. She might be an animal cruelty person. Have I told you my gardener snake story before? Have I told you this?
No.
So I'm scared of snakes. You know this. We've talked about that. If I've told this story before, I apologize.
But like if you're at the zoo and they're walking around with a beautiful big boa constrictor and you can pet it and touch it, and you're going to do that, right? Because it's cool.
I would absolutely never do that. They tried to do that at school. They would bring in like snakes and be like, who wants to put it on your shoulders? Not me, because that's how kids get dead. Okay. That thing will just wrap around you. You can't breathe. It's way stronger than you. Okay. But okay. So here's my snake story. I come from a good life, right? I'm swimming in my pool in my backyard.
Oh,
I'm having a good time.
My private pool. Before I got out to go to the country club to swim in the country club pool.
We've never belonged to a country club, but we did have a country club near us that some of my friends belonged to. But you had to live in North Oaks in order to be part of the country club. We didn't live. It doesn't matter.
Now, did you work at the country club and have to serve them shrimp scampi?
You think I had a job? You're so funny. No, I'm kidding. My first job was in college, so I worked at a toy store.
Jesus
it's great.
Christ.
Zany Brainy. Oh, that was a great time.
Oh.
Okay, let me tell my snake story real quick.
Okay, real quick.
So I'm swimming in my pool. I'm having a great day. My dad is pulling weeds or something. I don't know what he's doing. And he picks up this gardener snake. He's like, hey, look, a gardener snake. And I was like, dude, get rid of that thing. And he was like, are you scared of snakes? I was like, yeah, I'm scared of snakes. Just get rid of it. And he threw this thing at me. He threw it at me. It hits me in the face and falls into the pool. And then this fucker is swimming in my pool. And I am panicking. I am floundering around. I'm freaking out. I finally crawl out of the pool, and my dad is just in stitches, right? And he comes over and he picks up the snake. All right.
No.
He picks up the snake. He doesn't throw it at me, but he this is how he kills the snake.
Oh God, he killed the snake.
He kills the snake. Okay, so he grabs the snake and then he does like a whip. You know how you whip people in the butt with towels?
He whips
it at my face, and the thing snaps and dies inches from my face, and then falls down. And then he called me a bunch of bad words. But it was the most traumatizing day of my life. Pretty sure.
We used to go out insect collecting as kids. And one time we found little tiny snake, just like
the little wormy ones.
Yeah, probably, maybe.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe a foot long, maybe
real
9
skinny.
inches, really skinny. We put it in one of the jars to keep because we're insane. We're done for the day. We're driving back. Well, there's holes in the top of the thing, so for it to breathe.
Sure, yeah. Otherwise, it'll suffocate.
Tiny snake goes right out there. So 3 kids in the back of the station wagon, and there's a snake loose.
No,
I freaked out.
I crashed that car.
Well, I was not driving, but I freaked out. I got to say, I did freak out, and I guess we got it out of the car. I just remember freaking out, and I think I gave myself a cramp.
I think I gave myself a cramp. Yeah, because you're doing these things, your muscles aren't used to it.
But that pool is pretty funny. I'd have done that.
I would have done that too. Well, thanks,
I wouldn't
Dan.
have killed the snake. I'd let it go because it's cool.
No, it gets dark. The end of that story gets dark, and I apologize.
Very dark. Sorry, people. We do not condone everybody. That. We don't want the.
No animal deaths.
And Brittany gives her the eyeballs, and Brittany's in the movie. We're going back to the movie. Brittany gives.
Are we talking about a movie?
Brittany gives her the eyeballs and is like, "I'm checking you out. I'm checking you out."
Nummy. Yeah.
We meet the tennis boy, Matt. Adrian likes him, and Brittany shows up, and he's kind of Brittany's boyfriend, kind of.
Yeah. It seems like the kind of is the right word, but they're definitely involved in some sort of fashion.
Adrian's serving cocktails, and here comes Tom. Oh, this is our first evening. Here comes Tom's out of rehab. Tom's a good-looking guy, and Tom's going to be hitting on Adrian, I think. I think he's the initial hit on. Brittany sees the doctor come in, and she kind of grabs on him and is all like sort of all over him for unknowable reasons.
Yeah, because it's cool.
Out by the boats, we meet Kelly, the girl with short hair, and Bobby, the guy with 2 earrings, who's kind of dumb, kind of the bartender of the group.
He's dumb, right? Is that what his deal is?
He's kind of dumb, but he's kind of nice. He's not as terrible as all the rest of them.
Yeah, but he's also like socially awkward a little bit.
He's a little socially awkward. Yeah.
I'm not sure I believe that he'd be a part of the clique. That's all I'm saying. I don't know.
Well, he just makes them drinks. He's not really.
That's true because Brittany does say at one point, like, your only job on this earth is to make me a drink. You're that you're saying that does ring true.
He does not have high social status because Kelly's like, we dated last time, and she's like, pass.
Oh, that's right. She totally blows him off. It was like, that was last summer, which is a great line, by the way.
Yeah, it was good. Actually, no, I'm up to 4 things I like in this movie.
It turns out, Dan, this movie pretty great. Okay.
They're very far between. You could go 25, 30 minutes between.
I'm going to tell you, overall, I had a good time with this movie.
Well, I'm glad.
This movie's fun.
I'm glad. Yeah. I'm glad.
It's silly, but it's fun.
Tom got a Hummer. Adrian is doing well.
Yeah, he did.
Bob Mead sends her off to the ice machine because he sees that she's enjoying herself. Go, Adrian, go to the ice machine.
And he's so mad about it. He's so angry that she's fraternizing. Which maybe that's true. Like, I don't actually get to go to the cool country club, so maybe that's true. Maybe like there's a line that you just cannot cross, and it's bad.
So she's getting it. Boom! She sees that Brittany has drowned in the pool. She goes out there, sort of drags her to the side and sort of gives her mouth to mouth.
I mean, she's definitely giving her mouth to mouth. You know what I'm saying?
In the pool. And then we see, Brittany like kind of opens one eye, is like, yeah, okay, she's falling for it.
Right. Now, what's happening? Can you explain this motivation?
She has somehow figured out that Adrian is going to see her out a window. And then she's faking a drowning by, going full Sunset Boulevard and faking a drowning.
Right. Yeah.
But in this case, it is faking. In Sunset Boulevard, it's a real drowning.
Sure. Well, so go Sandlot, Sandlot.
Oh, really?
He fakes that. I think he fakes it because he gives the little thing before he jumps in the water and then he gets a kiss from the hot girl. So he's faking it. Yeah.
That's a you and a Todd movie. I haven't seen that movie.
You've never seen The Sandlot?
No, that was after my childhood. I didn't go see kids' movies after I was an adult.
First of all, it's an all-ages movie because it's great. All right? Jeez Louise. Yeah, it's about Babe Ruth, sort of.
They go back to Adrian's room. Brittany sees the postcard, turns it over, and I guess figures out she was in the institution.
Right. Did it have the address on it? I can't remember.
Yeah. You vaguely see something, and I think we assume, because it was probably sent to her at the institution, so now she knows.
Dan, I do have a question. Was she trying to make out with her? Or was this just like her only way of thinking of talking to her?
Drawing her in, giving them a connection. Her lesbianism, when she uses it, is only... It's only a tool. It's not real.
Sure, yeah, which is totally cool, but slightly weirder when you find out that she looks identical to her older sister.
Yeah, it would be kind of weird making out with your older sister.
Right, like that's why I mean, you don't know it at the time. Yeah, so I guess there's that, but then later you discover that Adrian looks identical to Brittany's older sister, Sandra, and who then she made out with, which is kind of weird.
We all have fantasies, Tony.
Okay, Dan, you keep telling yourself that.
I wrote. So they're connecting over the painting, and then I wrote nudity, and then she is changing. Oh, because she's in wet clothes, and so she takes off her clothes, and we get some toplessness.
Yeah, just topless again.
And then Bob Mead shows up, and then Brittany's put on a shirt, but put it on, where it's like,
It's pretty see-through because it's just like a white shirt and she just does the tie thing.
Yeah.
That'd be tough to walk in on, I'll tell you that.
Next day they're doing laundry. The boys shut off the power, but Matt fixes it. And she's all like...
Well, she's in the elevator.
Oh, she's in the elevator.
The joke is like, does she get stranded in the elevator? But it only lasts for about 3 seconds before Matt turns the power back on.
Yep.
So when she gets down to the bottom, she would just be like, did something happen? I'm not really sure. And then be like, yeah, not really. It's very strange. She should be like in there and calling for help, right?
But she says to Matt, thanks for saving my life.
Right, but she didn't even get to the point where she could have panicked. It wasn't long enough for her to think about it and be like, I'm going to die in here.
It's a come on, Tony.
From who? Why is everyone flirting with everybody? I'm confused.
Don't you remember youth, Tony? When everybody wanted to hop on everyone?
Well, let me explain to you that my youth was not that. I was never the beneficiary of that sort of thing. So, no, I did not. I don't remember that, Dan.
I'm not saying you got to have the good times because you, of course, didn't have the good times. But you got to watch all your attractive friends have good times.
Yeah, I mean, I had some good-looking friends,
There you go. Yeah, it's good-looking friends. You gotta let the dog out.
Who let the dogs out?
The dog. There's only one dog. Okay, so Brittany's observing all this, and so she's like not happy because Matt's, flirting with someone else.
Flirty, yeah.
So she goes and tracks down Adrian's like, come to the beach party. And Kelly's pissed that they're inviting Adrian to the beach party.
Right.
Why does Kelly care?
I don't know. Kelly's the only one that seems to care.
But Kelly wants to be with. She's into Brittany. That's the whole thing.
That's true.
That's
and
the true
I guess now having watched the whole movie, she's also the one that helped bury Sandra, or however you say her name. So she probably understands more than anybody else what's actually happening.
Yeah.
I guess.
So But we never really set up that Kelly's in love with Brittany. We just really, and it would have been easy to set up. You tell the actress that you're in love with her, and then just give some good subtext lines, and just have her, moo eyes or whatever.
Moo eyes, like a cow's eyes.
Yeah.
What's moo eyes?
That's what moo eyes is. It's like like ooh, ooh. You know what the most? I read a thing where there's a wildlife photographer, and he's like, you know what the 2 most dangerous animals are that he encounters?
Yes. No.
Snakes and bees. No, not snakes and bees. That's Tony's.
Bees. Bees are fine.
Oh, bees kill you if you're allergic.
Are you allergic to bees?
No, of course not. I'm not.
I've only been stung by a bee once. Knock on wood.
I got stung by a wasp right in the middle of my chest.
In the heart? They were trying to kill you. Holy cow.
The heart is not in the middle of the chest.
Are you sure?
It's on one side.
I always thought that, maybe this was a rumor I heard when I was younger, but I remember very distinctly that I used to, because we do this, and then they were like, well, it's actually more in the middle. So then I used to do this for the Pledge of Allegiance. I put it in the middle because I thought is it not there? I'm gonna look this up. You continue with your story. Who is the most dangerous animals?
Horses,
badgers,
horses, and cows.
Horses, I understand because they can kick you and you're dead, right?
And this is what he said, and it's pretty interesting.
Okay,
horses and cows don't really realize how big they are, so they're not trying to kill you.
Oh, interesting. But they're just kind of like, hey, get away from me,
or they're like, hey, let's play, and they step on you or whatever. They don't, and they're not afraid of humans. They will just come right over. There's no boundaries between cows and horses and humans.
Which I guess I understand, because my favorite thing in the world is a big dog that thinks that it's a tiny lap dog.
Yes.
That's my favorite thing in the world.
That's your favorite thing in the world.
It's my favorite. Like when they just
things in the world.
When it's just a big 80-pound dog and they run up to you and jump into your lap and try to curl up, and they're like, why don't I fit on this lap? I just love it. I love it so much.
Do you want to have that? Do you want to have a Great Dane? Is that Great Dane your dream dog?
I would do that. Do you have one? Are you offering it to me?
I have a very small dog, but
yes, you do. Yeah, real cute.
Okay, as Adrian's walking to the thing, Kelly tries to hit her with her scooter. That was funny.
It's funny.
I like that. That was nice. At the beach party, Bobby hits on her. Joanne is serving drinks, and we get a nice awkward moment where Joanne has to serve her a drink. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, nice.
And then Jack Summers gets out of the water, and he's hot. And
the Duke.
Is he the Duke, or did he go to Duke?
Oh, I don't know the answer to that. I thought he was a Duke, but now that you're saying it, going to Duke sounds more probable than him being an actual Duke of something.
So now we're all around the fire or something, and we play the party game. What is the party game they play, Tony?
Well, I'm actually confused because they're playing Never Have I Ever, but they don't call it those words.
They changed the words
they changed
copyright?
The name. I don't know. I was like, oh, you're going to play Never Have I Ever, but they didn't call it Never Have I Ever. They just called it I Never or something. They shortened it to just I Never or something.
And what
I've always played it as Never Have I Ever, ellipses, and then you fill in the blank.
So I say Never Have I Ever, something that I've never done, right?
Yes, but generally something that someone else has done. It's a mind game, right? So you're saying I've never done this, but you've done this because you're a whore. That's generally how you play that game.
Never have I ever murdered someone. And then we go around and we figure out who's murdered someone.
Yeah, I drank.
Tony drank. Oh, so you drink. And that's how you know.
It's a drinking. See, this movie doesn't play the game very well. It's a drinking game. And if you've done the thing that the person said they've never done, you have to take a drink. So then you can point out who.
Oh,
exactly.
And this movie does not play any of those things right. And I'm just sitting there I've never played this game. I've seen it in movies. But,
for sure.
But you're just I'm what's supposed to... Is this supposed to raise hands? What's supposed to happen? So you're not even quite sure.
You're supposed to take a drink. It's a drinking game.
It's a drinking game. And so we do one, and then the one girl, I think Kelly says, I never drank with the help. And then It pisses Adrian off.
Well, because it's pretty mean.
It's very mean. She says, good night. She gets up, and then Brittany follows her, and then she talks about her sister who left. And then Jack throws a Frisbee, and then he says, I didn't mean to get you all wet. Like, how did he get them all wet?
I think that maybe the Frisbee's wet or something because they're playing at the beach. I didn't understand this line either, other than they wanted to make the euphemism of like
making the girls
get her all wet.
Okay.
But also that Frisbee not glow in the dark. That would be very hard to play Frisbee at night. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. The doctor sees her and Brittany at the spa. We have this weird sassy hairdresser. The guy that plays the sassy hairdresser is some guy that did a lot of character work.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
I don't know what his name is.
I'll look up his name.
But it's a real nothing. We have a golfing montage where Brittany and her are golfing, and Simple Wayne drives by in his buggy at one point and glowers at them, which I kind of enjoyed.
Wow, glowers. Good word,
big word.
Dan.
Tom is macking on her. So the guy that was a drunk, he's there macking on her, teaching her how to shoot, how to golf and all that. And then Kelly hits one in the woods and then doesn't want to go in the woods. And then Brittany protects her from having to go in the woods. And so we're like, I guess there's something in the woods that something
you can't see.
You can't see.
Now, let's just real quickly talk about this golf seduction scene.
Where he's putting his hands between her.
Puts his hands between her legs and to spread them out.
Right? There it is.
But my favorite part is he comes up to her and he says, you need to spread your legs. You need to spread your legs. And she's like, oh, no, sexy stuff. And he's like, no, seriously. It's called your stance. As if your stance is a golf term. Like, that's not a golf term. You're not like, oh, your stance. You know what I'm talking. It's how you stand. It's not a golf term. I don't know. It just bothered me that he uses it as if like that's the golf term you need to know. She would understand your stance because it's how you're standing. And then he goes up and he just spreads them a little bit. The guy's not teaching her how to play golf because her legs are spread out, she hits the shot good. Like, this is the dumbest scene I've ever seen. Make it more sensual for me. Okay. There's a lot of stuff you can do with a golf swing.
You want to go full ghost, like.
I would love a full ghost moment, slide his hands down her forearms and get into the grip a little,
I think your point is the way he goes about it is not sexy at all.
It's not sexy.
Weird.
Yeah, no, it's not sexy at all.
Here, I'm putting my hands between your thighs. It's like,
right. If somebody did that to me, I would not be aroused. I wouldn't be like, oh, golf is an arousing sport. I'd be like, just stand over there and tell me what you want me to do. This is weird, dude.
If Tom is going to put his hands on her, he should actually put them on her in a way that she's going to actually enjoy.
Do some hip work because you got to keep your hips loose. Get your butt out a little bit. Pull that into me. There's a lot of things you could do with a golf swing that could make it a sexy scene, and this is not that.
Back at the clubhouse, Brittany's like, "I know you're an institution, but you know what you could do? You can keep the clubs." Okay,
right.
Keep the clubs.
I don't understand. It's very confusing.
Well, it's a setup for later in the movie.
But she hasn't already planned that.
Everything.
You think so? You think she's playing 10 steps ahead of everybody else? That's crazy.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
She's going to screw this girl over. She's already decided.
I mean, I guess that would make... I don't understand why she befriends her in the first place, to be honest with you.
Because the way she handled that snake.
You think that's what it is? She's a snake charmer.
There's no reason why she did.
Yeah, I don't know. Unless I don't know.
Because the truth of the matter is Brittany should have taken her away from one of the other girls that befriends her.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah,
that's
that makes
what
sense.
You want to do.
Yeah, you can't have that.
There's a new person, and then Brittany is threatened by that when she sees them. This is exactly what should have happened. They do the snake prank, right? Snake falls on the ground. She picks up the snake, and then she terrorizes them with the snake, right?
Sure, yeah, there you
it's just
go.
a little snake. And then she holds it to one of the other girls, the blonde girl, and she goes, ooh. And then
boys. Okay, because boys can be scared of snakes too, Dan.
This is the weakest of the boys, Bobby. The most effeminate one, the one with no that exudes no maleness.
Sure, yeah, that makes sense. That's who would be afraid of the snakes. Yeah, that makes sense.
Throws it in the pool to scare Bobby.
It's a scary thing when a snake's coming at your face, Dan.
But that's what she should have done and gains their respect. And like the guy with the long hair is like, oh, you're badass. Oh, she's badass. And Brittany's over there like, oh wow, she's let me. And then Brittany walks over and she's all like, no, I'm the queen. But she's
this is mine.
Oh, she could say, "Oh, you want to come to the party? We're all going to be there." Boom.
Great.
We've set up a dynamic. But no, we don't set up a dynamic.
No, yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about that.
Boom, boom, boom. Okay, let's see. Where are we at? She got the clubs. Late night shower. There's a peeper in her house. There's a gift on her bed. It's the dress from a magazine. We set up this magazine where there's like, oh, look at this, the most beautiful dress in the world. It's like this $125 dress.
Yes.
Fuck.
The judgment dripping out of Dan Goodsell right now. That's probably out of a Macy's catalog. It's $100. Okay.
No, it's not. Macy's makes good stuff. It's not even.
Do
Macy's.
they? I don't shop in retail stores.
Macy's,
I don't know.
Macy's pretty nice.
So what would be what? J.C. Penney? Is that the low?
Okay,
all right. So it's a
dress.
J.C. Penney dress. Oh boy,
you would catch me dead in that dress. Okay, she's got a dress. She takes there's a party at Brittany's house. She goes there. There's nobody there. She lets herself in. She walks upstairs. She's like, Brittany, where are you? And then Brittany appears. What happens then?
Then she's like, I told you you'd look amazing in that dress.
There it is. They go downstairs. Everyone's downstairs making the world's biggest racket.
Yeah, which is confusing, right? Because weren't they just not there? I don't know.
They've been there the whole time. You would have heard them. Well, there's a question. You're in there. You're in your basement. You and your bros. You're partying. You got the stereo on. You're doing some karaoke. Can your mom upstairs hear you?
All right, two things to say this real quickly. We used to do a ton of karaoke. There was a game called Karaoke Revolution for the PlayStation 2, and it was kind of like Dance Dance Revolution, where there was notes on the screen, and you sang into a microphone, and it would like grade you on how well you hit the actual notes of the song. It was the greatest game in the world. We used to record ourselves playing this. It was dope. So yes, all of the things you just said happened all the time, and I can't even begin to tell you how many times my dad would come down and yell at us to keep it down. So yes, you can absolutely hear it. The neighbors can hear that shit. Everybody can hear it. It's not soundproof, Dan.
This is not soundproofed. Okay, so we're good. They're playing pool, and then Kelly's getting mad because Kelly's mad. Bobby's making drinks. And then one of the guys bet one of the other guys something, so his girlfriend has to give the other guy a blowjob.
Oh, it's just a blowy. Okay,
They made it sound like it was sex, but the
visual it's the same. It's still the same.
The visual setup was that she was about to give him a blowjob. You're just like
super weird. Super weird stuff happening at this party. I don't know. Rich people, am I right?
Well, they're like doing the blowjob on the pool table while everybody's standing outside. It's like, okay,
well, they shut the doors. Yeah, like 7 minutes in heaven, but with blowies and whatnot. It's
kind of gross.
Kinda.
Okay, then they go. Meanwhile, then they forgot the CDs, so they send her upstairs to the CDs. Adrian goes upstairs to get the CDs and then has the hiccups. Here comes Tom. Is it Tom?
Yeah. Why does she have the hiccups?
Oh, so Tom can get all over her again, and then he teaches her the true cure to hiccups. What's the true cure to hiccups, Tony?
So you you hold your breath upside down, and then you take a drink of water.
Yes, what you do is you bend over all the way as far as you could bend, and then you take your glass and then you drink upside down.
Reverse drink. I thought you had to hold your breath because here's the thing. You taught me this.
Oh,
I don't know if you remember this.
I taught you this. Okay.
Yeah, you taught me this because I always used to just do the hold my breath.
which can work. It
can,
work.
but it doesn't. It's not consistent. But the thing, so I've been bending over, then holding my breath, and then at the end, when I'm like, I need to breathe, I take a drink of water, swallow it, and then breathe. And it's been real consistent ever since. But yeah, you taught me that. So thanks, Dan. Thanks for saving my life.
You're welcome. Because hiccups, if you have hiccups for 15 or 20 minutes, you're going to want to kill yourself.
Dan, I probably can't tell this story. I won't use any names, but someone at my wife's work had to call out of work because they said they had the hiccups for 13 hours straight. I don't know if that's possible. I don't know, but that sounds
there's people
brutal.
There's people have hiccups for weeks and months and years and stuff.
Weeks and months and years. That sounds. I'm very sorry to all you.
You can look that up, but
doing that. Hiccups are not fun.
You have them for a minute. I haven't had them in years, thankfully.
Is that true?
Yeah.
I get them when I eat spicy foods.
Oh.
Which I do a lot.
I get them. I have to be careful with pretzels.
That's an interesting one. What do you think that's about?
It has something to do with the pretzel flour or something, but look it up. Pretzels, I think it's hiccups. I think it's hiccups. Pretzels cause hiccups.
Pretzels give me hiccups. That's the first thing that came up. Yes, some people report that eating pretzels triggers hiccups. Theories include eating too fast. Well, that's probably what actually happens with me. If I'm being honest, that's actually, I said it's spicy foods. It's probably 99.9% me just shoveling food into my fat mouth. Dry food. So they said swallowing dry food in the chemical reaction of baking soda with the stomach acid.
But I can absolutely attest to it. I can always, when I eat pretzels, I'm always like right on the edge. You're like, oh.
I'm not a pretzel guy, so this is probably why. Like the only time I eat pretzels is in those Gardetto's, the mix, you know? What is that called?
Oh, Gardetto's mix, I think.
Is that really what it's called? All right, I don't know. You know what I'm talking about.
You know what I love? The big Bavarian pretzels.
Are those the soft?
I love soft pretzels, but there's hard Bavarian pretzels that you can get. They're big. Each one's like, maybe 2.5 inches, 3 inches across. Oh, so good.
That sounds terrible. It's so dry.
I'm going to get those.
You got to, do you dip it in something like cheese or something like cheese sauce?
Pretzels and mustard that's the main way I like mustard.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay. He saves her from the hiccups, drinks the water, then they start kissing, and then Britt is out there peeping on them. And then
super weird. This is such a weird scene. You're gonna have to break this down for me.
She's on the balcony, like behind curtains, and she's like sitting in a chair watching,
like dead stare watching. So she knows what's going on. Continue.
Then Tom mounts on top of Adrian,
but not yet.
Oh,
so they're kissing and stuff. Yeah. Tom looks out the window,
he sees her,
and Brittany does that. Gives a head nod,
give her a nod?
Do it,
okay.
And then Tom basically tries to force her. And I was like, "What is happening right now?"
Brittany's powerful.
It's weird, man. It's weird.
Adrian pushes him off, and he hits his head, and Brittany's not happy.
Because he failed at forcing her to bone. I don't understand everything.
Back down at the pool, Brittany and Adrian reconnect, and she's like, "Oh, the date rape," and she's like, he gives her the Me Too. I believe you.
Yeah, like we should tell someone. And then they don't. I'm very confused by this whole thing. Brittany is way smarter than me in this movie. That's what I've learned.
She's very smart. She has the smart of the intelligence of the writers telling her exactly what everything's going to happen. Right. So you get, if you know everything's going to happen in the movie, it's easy to prep for your murders.
Sure. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Collect all the evidence you need on what's going to happen. They go dancing. No, wait. No, let's go. I've got a job tonight. About dancing. I don't know. And then Kelly's like, she's playing with you. And then Adrian tells her that she's pathetic. Someone sabotages Kelly's scooter. And then they're going to go they're going to go dancing the next night. As they're driving to go dancing. Well, they go dancing. They are dancing.
Yeah, they're seducing some guy on the dance floor for fun.
They grind with him, and then they leave and drive away from him and like, peace out. Intercut with this.
Funny scene.
It's pretty funny. Intercut with this is Kelly driving on her scooter, and then
also a funny scene.
The scooter breaks down and she falls. I love the fall. That was another one of the things I really enjoyed in this movie.
Did you love her after effects of the fall?
Well, there's actually a number of things I liked in this part. She falls, which I thought was hilarious. She does a very hilarious fall. Then what happens?
Yes. Then she lays. Then we cut back to them for a second. Then we come back to her, and she's laying on the ground, and her head is shaking back and forth.
I didn't remember that.
And I don't understand. I don't know why her head is still bobbing, like as if the after effects of whatever would happen. That made me laugh really hard. The fall was hilarious. I loved it. No notes.
It was great. It was just like in the cleaner. When she threw the soda went down, hit the guy, and he just like, it's just like an explosion. Okay, they then drive by the crash. They're putting her into the
full body cast, basically.
And one of them, I think Brittany yells, "Kelly!" like she's trying to get her attention.
Be like, "Oh, hey guys, hey! I can't move my body, but hi,
hey Kelly." That was very hilarious. And then they talk to the ambulance guy. He's like, "Oh no, she'll be fine."
No. What he says is,
"I
think she'll be fine," as if he has no medical training whatsoever. He's like, "Yeah, I think she'll be okay."
Maybe.
Based on what she's in a full body cast going into this ambulance, she does not look great. I don't know.
She does not look great.
What a scene.
Okay, so. Back next day at the club, Adrian's talking to Bobby, and Bobby drops the big thing that Adrian looks just like Sandra, Brittany's sister, who has pieced out. And we're like, oh, okay. And we also find out that Sandra and Matt were a thing. We're like, oh, this is interesting.
Right. Yep.
Adrian goes and quizzes Matt about Sandra, and we find out that she just pieced out, but she continues to send postcards saying, "Glad I'm not with you fuckers."
I'm living such a beautiful life out here. Yeah.
And at the same time, as they're doing this in the we pan over there, and there's Brittany listening. She's
pan
everywhere.
That far, though.
She's everywhere.
My thing is, it's not a big pan, right?
No.
Like, it's just a couple of feet that nobody noticed that she's there.
She's just sitting back in the chair, judgmental. So they're like, oh, we should go get some food. And they're like, okay. They take off. She gets in her car and then does a drive-by of them eating food.
Yeah. Yeah. She's out of control.
Adrian gets back and she gets quizzed by Brittany, and she's like, "Matt is mine. Remember, I brought you in. I can throw you out."
Yeah, I'm sure. That's cool.
Back at the psych hospital, there's Britt. She sees the doctor. She's pushing somebody, and she's like acting like she works there. You know, she's a candy striper. Is that a term you know, Tony? Candy striper?
It is, but only from the movies.
Okay, good.
You know, yeah.
It was a fading thing when I was young, but
sure.
I saw them one time. I saw candy stripers at the hospital one time.
Really?
They were wearing, I believe, white and pink striped, like almost like, you know, Japanese maid costumes. It was weird.
Okay.
It's fucking weird. You're just like, no, this is not good.
No, this is not. Go back into that closet. You need to change your clothes here.
You know how there's things in your life that you're just like, this is not what a thing should be called. Candy stripers. I was like, no, wrong. Okay, where are we at? Quiz by Brittany. Boom, boom, boom. She's at the hospital. She goes into the doc's office looking for files. Adrian opens up to Joanne about what happened. So this is when we set up what happened was it was a school psychologist. She was acting out, and then the school she obsessed over the school psychologist, so it couldn't have been the doctor.
Okay. No, you're right.
She started
you're right.
fantasizing with them. Then she thought that they had sex, but it was all in her mind. She got betrayed.
Unless it all really happened. We don't even meet this guy, so maybe it all did. Maybe it did really happen.
Then we have this weird scene where he's sitting in the car, and then he's like pretending she like literally doesn't exist. which makes her angry.
Right.
Then she beats up his car. What does she beat up his car with?
Golf club. Nope. Wait, what? What is it?
Hockey stick.
Her hockey stick. You're right.
I guess it's field hockey. It's a field hockey stick.
The line is something like, and then my hockey stick was in my hand or something. It was something really weird. Yeah. You're right. I totally forgot.
Hockey stick, bad thing to say because you don't immediately think field hockey when you say hockey stick, but it is a field. No, it must be a field hockey stick.
Yeah, because she's not skating around.
I don't think so. And then she had to spend time in the hospital.
Sure. Yeah.
Kelly returns. She's got a scrape on her face, and she has a cast on her leg or something, splint on her leg, something.
Yeah, and she's got a bruise on her shoulder and a cast on her leg. Yeah.
Adrian says, "Welcome back." Wait, does Kelly get mad at her then? You were right about Brittany. She hated Sandra. Somehow Adrian's talking to someone, and I guess maybe it's Kelly.
Yeah, she's talking to Kelly because Kelly comes in and she's like, "Hey, I'm sorry, you were right."
Yeah, so you're right.
That's about it.
Then we find out about this ring, and I guess Sandra had this ring, and then when she left, her mom made another copy of the ring, so Brittany would have the ring.
Because Brittany freaked out or something.
I couldn't figure it.
Sandra, one of them got the ring and then the other one was jealous. So the mom made a copy so they'd each have the ring or something. Oh, no,
this is what it was. Brittany had the ring. Mom gave Brittany the ring. Then mom took the ring back from Brittany and gave it to Sandra and then made another copy of the ring for Brittany. So Brittany didn't get to have the ring.
Not the original. Right.
Which doesn't make any sense.
I don't know.
Okay. Copy, you're only here for the summer. And then Kelly's like, "Oh, you're only here for the summer. I'm here for the rest of my life." And somehow Brittany's in the other room listening to all of this also, stone-faced.
Yeah, they either just do conversations around Brittany all the time, or she is literally everywhere at all times. It's one of the two, and I don't know which one it is.
She always knows where to stage herself to hear everything.
All the goss, all the hot goss.
Now, Brittany goes back to the psychiatric hospital wearing the dress that she had given to Adrian and then seduces the doc.
Right. Yeah, to get all that semen on it.
Semen all over the dress. Could you don't do it inside of me. Do it on this dress.
Just do it all over the dress, please. For no reason. No reason. I just really enjoy it.
Let me clean this all up with this dress. Gross. Then Brittany takes Kelly for a midnight sail. And then they start making out. Well, she puts a life jacket on her first. Then they go out there, and then she takes off the life jacket so they can make out. Then she pushes her in the water. Let me get the dialogue. "Help! My leg! You bitch! Thought you were my friend. Bye, Kelly. Goodbye." Did you want to say anything else about that sexy scene?
I don't think so. I mean, so it would have been better, right, if they had built the relationship up to this point so that when Brittany is seducing Kelly a little bit, you're like, uh-oh, yeah, Kelly's going to fall for this, as opposed to just like, yeah, Kelly fell for it, but I wasn't totally on board with why. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like there should have been some previous tension, and then when Kelly finally gets what she wants, which is the love of Brittany, you're like, oh yeah, and then she throws her in the ocean. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah, Kelly has to come back. Brittany has to hug her, and then the hug goes a little longer, and then Kelly gets a look in her eye like, oh,
I love you.
Yeah, I love you, great. And things have changed now that if Brittany said something to Kelly like, I can't believe how much I missed you. We need to we need to start reconnecting because, and then but the hug is like, maybe her hand goes down to her butt, like.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
You got to give us a little something weird.
Give us a little something.
And then, boom, the next day, we're post-funeral. We're post-Kelly funeral.
Right. And
Tom is...
Everyone's just standing at the bar, and they're like, well, we just came from the funeral, everybody. What the...
Done with Kelly. It's good to know her.
Not that great, though,
and Tom,
if we're being honest.
And Tom is back in rehab, so Tom is done.
Well, because they're asking for him, right? They're like, oh, I didn't see Tom at the funeral. Did you see Tom? I didn't see Tom. Oh, he's back in rehab. Okay. All right.
And then Brittany's back into Matt's arms, and Adrian's like, oh, crap.
Classic.
So, boom, Adrian somehow discovers she's having some time with Simple Wayne, and she discovers that he's a painter. So she goes to his room, and here's another thing that I loved. He has the world's creepiest mannequin covered in stuff, including a shoe. And it's like, it is a pervert mannequin.
Yeah, 100%.
It is
without a doubt.
Fantasy mannequin that when the lights are dim in the middle of the night, he's thinking thoughts about that mannequin. And
he's not just thinking thoughts. I guarantee you there's some holes in that mannequin. Okay. Just throwing it out there.
Okay. There's holes in the mannequin. And she sees this shoe that has this sort of diamond buckle on it and realizes it's the same shoe that was in this picture of Sandra with the gang. And she's all like, oh, and and then Simple Wayne is like, it's all just the stuff I find on the golf course. And so she's putting it all together.
But why does she do this thing where she holds the shoes together?
Oh, no, she does that later.
Oh, that's later. Yeah, okay. So then you explain that to me later.
The next day, Adrian rides her bike to Brittany's house, and she goes, the housekeeper opens the door, and she's all like, oh, I forgot my sweater in Brittany's room. Great line. I'll just let myself out. That line would work 100% of the time.
Oh, absolutely.
Smart line. She goes up there and starts, looking, and then she tries the shoe up against the other shoe, so she knows it's the same size as what Brittany wears. Were they twins? Were they fraternal twins or something?
I don't know. I am so confused about it all.
Because I saw something about fraternal twins, and I can't remember if it was this movie or something else I was watching.
Okay. All right. What did you see?
I don't know.
I thought you meant like you saw information that would pertain to this. You're just saying in general something.
There was some piece of media I have seen in the last week had fraternal twins, and I'm like, it might have been this movie. It might have been something else.
Is it this movie? Okay, I understand where we're confused now.
Can't tell you.
Oh, boy.
But she keeps on snooping. Brittany comes home. Don't know how she came home because what's-her-name went there when she was off with Matt doing tennis, but okay.
Yep. So much tennis. Yeah.
She finds some sunglasses, which they act like are significant. She steals them. Oh, because she's going to use them later. Because she's setting up for what her plan is.
Right.
Which doesn't make any sense because she doesn't need to make a plan now because she doesn't. Whatever. She finds the big pile of postcards, and so we're like, oh, okay, she's doing the fake postcard things.
I can't wait to talk about how, by the way, but continue.
Brittany comes up there and like is kind of confused because the window's open, and here we see Adrian climbing down the drain pipe, and I'm like, there's Tony's teenage childhood climbing down the drain pipe.
Actually, Dan, I had my room in the basement, so we snuck out of the windows.
No, I know you
did into the pool area.
But did you ever climb up a drain pipe or down a drain pipe in other situations of your life?
I wish that I could. I think I would have tore those right off. Yeah, I don't think they make drainage pipes strong enough to hold this frame.
Well, okay. Brittany sees her riding her bike away, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't very sneaky.
Game on. Dinner service. Adrian is distracted. She gets a text from the doctor. She goes down to the laundry room. Somebody locks her. She gets locked in some room.
Yeah.
And then it's Brittany that's in the laundry room waiting for the doctor. The doctor's like, us having sex was a mistake. We're not going to do it again. And she's all like, here's the mistake.
We are.
I'm going to beat you to death with a golf club.
And it's brutal. It's the best. It's great. He's bleeding. There's blood everywhere. They spray the lockers with blood. It's nice.
Well, they spray the laundry machines with the blood.
Okay, Mr. Machine Man.
That's me, I'm Mr. Machine Man. Beats him to death with a golf club, unlocks Adrian. She sees the club, sees the thing. We don't get her to pick up the club, which I thought was very disappointing. She should have picked up the club. And literally,
she already, all of her handprints. Come on, guy. Fingerprints are over it because she used them
because they were the golf clubs that Brittany had given her. I was like, okay, that's good. I mean, the plot is good, you know. Getting the semen.
I don't know if it's good.
Semen on the dress.
About the semen again.
Semen on the dress. There's all this semen.
It's all coming together, Dan.
Of course, it would also have a number of people's DNA if you're testing for DNA, but whatever. And the golf club's going to have her fingerprints on it. She's arrested. They perp walk her through everyone. Bob Mead is just beside himself with happiness that she's being perp walked through his club, right? His thing that he manages where a guy just got murdered, he is ecstatic that this is happening to Adrian.
Yeah, he's got a big old grin on his face, and it's weird. I don't know. He's a weird guy. I would love to learn more about him.
She's going to get held at the institution until the trial. She's back in the room with Crazy Tanya, who's like, I told you you'd be back. Then we're doing the time for meds. She takes the meds and is like, oh, yeah, I swallow them. And then, of course, hasn't swallowed her meds. She's putting them away.
Because no one checks under the tongue, apparently, in this world.
This is what you have to do.
Yeah, there you go.
Tongue up, tongue down.
Dan's been in and out of psych wards all his life.
There's some truth to that. Boom, 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 meds. Bobby is laying in the boat, lamenting Kelly, and then he finds Brittany's lip balm.
Because he rolls over with a purpose. He already knew it was there. I'm sorry.
And Brittany has this lip balm that she's always like...
loves that stuff. She loves that.
So he figures out that something's up. So he goes to...
Which is confusing to me because they don't know that the boat was taken out. Because she brought the boat back. So the boat isn't really a clue. And they're in the boat all the time, I assume. Right? But it's fine.
What they should have done, which Brittany should have peeled off. She should have dove into the water and swam away, leaving the boat. You know, after she goes under, she should have just swam back to shore, leaving the boat out there.
Yeah, there you go.
That
Very
makes sense.
smart.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Because then she's lost at sea and, that's nobody's fault.
Yep. Bobby goes to visit her at the institution and easily gets in to talk to a person who has murdered someone and it is being held as psychiatric.
Yeah, they just kind of let them hang out. I don't know. Kind of weird. It's even weirder when the next scene, but that's fine.
Wait, this is the thing you want to talk about.
So she's divulging how Brittany did all of her plans.
Yep.
And his big comeback was, what about the postcards?
Yeah, what's the answer?
As if that's a hard thing to fake, right? Not a hard thing to fake whatsoever. But apparently the answer is there's a service that you can send a postcard to in an envelope, and they will send the postcard back to you.
Yes.
What in the world is that, Dan? That can't be a real thing.
It's a service.
Is it a real service?
Of course it is. Of course it is.
Why? Why would I need this?
Because people are collectors.
I'm confused.
Don't I
already own the envelope? Or sorry, the postcard?
Okay, Tony.
You break this down for me,
Dan.
really
slow. If I want a postmarked postcard from Morocco, I send this thing to Morocco. Someone in Morocco pulls the postcard out of the envelope, puts a stamp on it, sends it back to me, and then it'll get the postmark, and I will have a Moroccan stamp.
But you didn't go to Morocco.
I did not go to Morocco.
So why are you getting the stamp? See what I'm saying? In this movie, this makes perfect sense.
Because I collect stamps and I collect postmarked stamps.
Well, then you should probably go on vacation more, Dan.
There used to be a whole thing where, like all the time, they would do these things called first day covers They might still do some. I don't think they do a lot. And
Sure.
you print up an envelope, and then they put a specific stamp on there, and then they run it through a postmark, because every postmark is different, right?
No, I don't know.
Do you know what a postmark is?
I assume it's some sort of stamp they do at a post office.
Yes, and what that does is that makes it so that it says that the stamp is used, right? If a stamp is postmarked, it cannot be used again, right? So it's basically a cancellation. So what happens is usually it'll say the date and it'll say where. So it'll say Buffalo, New York, February 3rd, 1968. But what they do with first day covers is they'll make a special stamp just for that might say like, Walt Disney's 25th birthday, and then you put the Walt Disney stamp on there, and then you get the special thing, and it makes an instant collectible.
Wow.
And there used to be a lot, just like there used to be a lot of beer can collectors, there used to be a lot of stamp collectors, and they would collect these first day covers and of all sorts of things.
Okay, listen, I've been proven wrong once again.
Yeah. Well, this
I didn't send a lot of mail in 2000.
Movies from the year 2000 when things were very different. No one has a cell phone. Okay.
It's too bad. It'd be so much easier if they did.
Bobby steals Brittany's keys and then steals the ring. So now they have the ring. Adrian crushes up the pills and then drugs her therapist. And as her therapist, falls asleep, she goes, "Oh, finally."
Finally. It's so funny. Also, she's talking to the therapist and she's like, "I don't think you're asking me these things because you're my friend. I think you're asking because you have to." And I was like, yeah, that's what a professional therapist would do. They're not your friends. This is your whole problem. This is what happened last time when you started having hallucinations about your lover or whatever happened. I don't understand.
It did not happen.
She's not able to, put that line together, but she's not your friend. She's doing her job.
She dresses up as the doctor, sneaks out. Bobby picks her up. I was like, okay, Bobby. They go to
She doesn't look anything like that doctor. Can we just talk about that for 1 second?
She held up the flowers. Good night,
body
orderly.
type is totally
I'm
different.
The doctor.
I mean, come on, man.
Oh, no, people, I think you totally get away with
that. It's the 2000s, you're right. No cell phones, so they don't know what people look like.
Everybody's stupid back then.
Everyone is stupid.
Okay. They get to we're at the party. Matt's dressed up. She's with Brittany. They go to take the picture, and boom, as they're taking the picture, Adrian looks out the window. No one else looks out the window because it's only available for her to see out the window. Yeah. There's Adrian dressed as Sandra. Oh, no. She freaks out. She goes to the window. Boom. She's left the shoe. The almond shoe. She's starting to freak out.
The almond shoe.
She goes out. They go back to the table. This was nice. There's a little present. And she's all like, "Oh, for me." And everyone's like, "No, I didn't do this." But, of course, Bobby did it because he's the plant. That was a good move because you're like, okay, that really works well. She opens it, and inside is the ring. And so she's in big freak out time. She goes out, she leaves and goes to the water cooler to get a water. The phone is ringing outside. She goes outside, she answers the phone. It's like, "Who's this? Who is this?" "It's your sister." Okay, she's freaked out. She goes into the thing, breaks a window to get the shovel. I don't know what she broke the window with, but she broke the window to get the shovel, goes out there to the golf course, right in the exact location in the forest that Kelly was afraid to go into, and digs up her dead sister and pulls out the hand.
First of all, dig up is a bit of an exaggeration. She is less than a foot deep. This is the least hidden body of all time. Animals would have found it. Just saying. Just throwing that out there.
How deep do you have to bury to keep the animals off?
You got to do at least 6 feet. That's what they say, right?
Is that what they say? Is it really 6 feet?
That's what they say. That's why isn't that with the whole thing about 6 feet under? That's why they bury bodies 6 feet deep. I think. Listen. Maybe science. Maybe I'm misleading everybody right now. But in general, dig them deep, guys. If you're gonna hide a body, get it deep underground, or it's gonna get dug up.
Well, we got a movie to get through. And then Adrian comes over there and confronts her, and then never confront a psychopath with a shovel because she starts hitting her with a shovel.
Beats the shit out of you.
She sort of runs halfway to the thing. Then Bobby comes up, then she whacks Bobby a couple of times.
Yeah.
They go into this
again. Weak.
They go into this downtown. I mean, he's a very weak man, Tony. He's kind of your spirit animal.
Yeah, I really felt Bobby in this movie, you know?
And we, and then they go down to this downstairs thing and she gets.
And there's like a weird fight scene. Yeah, I don't know.
Poking.
The light's bad. I can't tell what's happening this whole time. I don't know.
I killed Sandra because she was jealous of Matt. You shouldn't have turned on me. Garden clippers. They fight by the pool. Adrian goes in the water. And then what's-her-name goes in there and starts to drown her. And then everybody comes outside and sees everything going on. And we get the classic Bobby's like, you did it. And then
she's the crazy one, which is a great line.
She's the crazy one. Matt jumps in there to save Adrian. And they carry
Bobby tells everybody the truth.
They carry Adrian off. Two guys carry Adrian off.
Yeah.
And then she gives you your classic lines. What? What are you staring at? You made me this way.
Yeah, she tries to make it like a society thing at the end, which was it's a real weird thing to just put in the end, be like, well, society puts pressure on people and then they snap and murder other people. I don't know. I didn't get it.
We have payday for the girls. They get in the truck and they drive away. Simple Wayne gives her a postcard of the painting of the again, and then they're
sweet Simple Wayne.
What are the things they yell as they drive away, Tony?
Adios. I feel like I heard adios, sayonara or something.
Adios is the final one. Before that, see ya, suckers.
See ya, suckers. Adios. Yeah.
Brittany's now in the institution, but we see one of the orderlies is bringing her food and also bringing her some of her lip balm. He is under her spell. Terrible movie.
Well, you're right about that.
There were a few fun parts, but it was.
No, I had a good time. I mean, it's a bad movie. Let me be very clear. I didn't think this was a good movie, but I thought there was a lot of fun stuff.
It dragged, and it could have been more fun. Nobody had
100%.
Very few of the characters. Brittany had some fun. Adrian had no fun.
Yeah,
most of the other characters just really didn't get to have a lot of fun. And it would if everybody was in on the joke kind of more.
Sure. Yeah.
And we were a little late on putting up last week's episode, and
technical difficulties.
I was thinking of the title for the YouTube video, and I was like, I wrote "Camp is Dead."
Well,
and that was the problem with that movie is. Yeah, the in the Lost Lands, it wasn't campy at all, and Resident Evil movies are campy.
And it needed to be. Yes, it needed it. Not every movie needs to be campy, but that movie certainly did.
And these kind of movies need to be campy. They can't.
100%.
You can't play them as straight dramas, and this is played pretty much as a straight drama, and it gets kind of snoozy. It gets snoozy.
Yeah, for sure. No, I agree 100%. But As a late night, Skinamax type thing, it also is lackluster now that I'm thinking about it. But yeah,
the only people that had sex with Brittany and the doctor.
Yep. That's true.
That's gross,
and barely. I guess is the answer.
Barely. We didn't even get to really enjoy that in all of its grossness.
No, that's true. Well, they tried to release this as a PG-13. I mean, they did.
Oh, they did.
So there's two versions, from my understanding. There's a PG-13 and there's an R. The only difference that I know of is that sex scene is a little bit longer in the R-rated one, and the PG-13 one is very short. So I think we saw the unrated one because they also said the kiss on the boat between Kelly, not unrated, sorry, the R one, between Kelly and Brittany was cut from the PG-13. There's no kiss on the boat.
Oh my God.
Because apparently that was too racy in 2000.
The world has changed.
It sure had. Thank goodness for that. Well, some of it, thank goodness.
Thank goodness for some of it. Tony, give us a movie. Yeah. Give us a movie for next week.
Are we going to talk about what we liked?
Tony, tell us something you liked this week.
I don't want to tell you how to do your show, Dan.
I'm still learning the format of the show.
2:38, baby. Come on.
There's only a couple things we need to do, and I haven't learned them yet.
Well, we watched Drop is on home video. It's a new horror movie from Christopher Land. Horror is not the right word. Thriller.
Oh.
It's a thriller from Christopher Land. It was fun. We had a good time. It's something little different.
Was he the guy that did the one where the girl had the twin on the back of her head?
No. He did like Happy Death Day and Freaky.
Oh, okay.
The good movies. I don't know what this twin on the back of the head movie
There's like
is.
the crazy movie where the woman has her conjoined twin. It's on the back of her head. They covered it over with skull, but it comes back to life. Haven't you seen that movie? That movie's
I don't think I've seen that movie.
so good.
It sounds great.
Oh my god, it's hilarious.
Sounds lovely.
Okay,
I would
drop.
love to
So
see it.
this is a movie. Okay, drop. And you said
It's a movie.
Okay.
It's a movie. It's fun.
That sounds cool.
Check it out. What do you got?
Started watching Mythic Quest on Apple.
Oh, yeah.
It's really good.
It is really good. It gets unceremoniously canceled.
Oh, well, they got 4 seasons. That's a lot of seasons.
I know, but it just it was a surprise cancellation in the off season, and I haven't looked into what happened yet because I'm not caught up on the show, but people are upset.
And I started the Eternaut on, I don't know where that was. It was someplace. Netflix. Argentinian science fiction.
I'm out.
It's not, all subtitles. It's not like Squid Game, but it's like Squid Game in that I just have no idea what's happening. I have no idea where it's going.
For sure.
You're just like, I don't know what's going to happen. This is a really interesting setup, kind of into the world setup. And you're like, okay, I'm in.
Okay, yeah. I love it.
I'm not going to watch
it. Let me be very clear.
Ooh, too much work. So now we need a movie, Tony. Give us a movie, Tony.
Yes, now I can do that part of the show. So, hold on. Let me make sure I get the name
right
correctly. I'm just Googling Finn Wolfhard. Does that tell you where we're going?
I should know what this is, but I don't remember. Is this the movie he directed?
This is the movie that he co-directed with someone else who I can't remember now, but they also star in it. And this is, of course, a wonderful new horror film called Hell of a Summer, which is like supposed to be a throwback to slashers. It looked really bad in the trailer to me, but I also have a strong dislike for Finn Wolfhard. So I'm excited to see A, what he does with something that's his own, and B, to watch him fail. I like both of those things.
This could be a really good movie.
I hope it is good. I hope it's great. I hope I watch it. I'm like, man, that was fun. That's a movie I wish I would have made.
It's a Finn Wolfhard banger you're going to say about it.
It's a Wolfhard production.
Okay, Hell of a Summer.
Hell of a Summer.
If you like what you see, give us a thumbs up. Give us a subscription. Leave a comment. Those are 3 things. Three things you could do.
Great. 3 things.
3 things you could do. 3.
Yeah.
And we'll be back next week doing Hell of a Summer. And
Hell of a Summer.
Thanks for waiting while Tony took a call in the middle of the show.
I'm not going to post all of that. Maybe should we just leave that up?
Yeah. Tony kept me sitting here for 25 minutes while he was ordering his lunch. Chick-fil-A, I need my lunch.
Anchovies, please. Yeah, no, it's good.
We'll see you next time.
Goodbye, everybody.